So Joe Biden recently tweeted this: Congress needs to step up and pass common sense gun safety laws to protect our kids and educators. Arming teachers is not the answer. Banning assault weapons and high capacity magazines and ensuring extensive background checks are part of the answer. No, Joe, what's not common sense is not having what you need to protect yourself when someone tries to kill you. If it makes sense for people to have a gun in their house in the event somebody bursts into their house trying to kill them, why would it not make sense for a teacher who wants to protect kids to have something at her disposal to protect those kids with if someone bursts into her classroom trying to kill her or her students? That is common sense. You're co-opting this idea of common sense and making it sound like it's something that should be only when it's something you agree with. But in reality, if the goal is really to save kids' lives, if the goal is to save lives in general, why aren't we talking about doing the things that will actually do that? You want to pass a law to ban a specific type of gun that is used in less than 1% of gun crimes in this country? That doesn't make sense. That's not common sense. That's stupid, actually, especially when you realize that criminals don't follow laws anyway. So you're not banning the guns from the people you don't want having those guns. You're banning them from the people you're not worried about. You think that by banning them, what? It's going to slow down the proliferation of firearms from criminals? The criminals still have the guns. And the funny thing is, they still have the guns that are used in the vast majority of shootings. So you're going to ban those too? You're going to start banning handguns now, Joe? So this idea that banning and gun control laws is common sense is not. Common sense to me and the rest of everybody in the world who understands what common sense truly is you stop the threat when it shows up. You can put measures and things in place to try to prevent it, but when it shows up at your front door, I want the most effective tool possible to stop that from trying to kill me. And that's it. And banning assault weapons is not gonna do it. And as far as background checks, the vast majority of mass shooters have all had background checks. This idea that we need to have more extensive, thorough background checks. You're going to background check people to death. It's not going to make a difference. So what happens the next time there's another shooting and that person went through these more extensive background checks? You're going to say we need even more extensive background checks? You kind of see where I'm going with this, Joe, but you probably don't, because you're probably off somewhere not giving a damn about anything because your only goal is to ban guns. That is it. Your goal is to pass gun control. It's not really about saving lives. You think this gun issue is your legacy, which is why you're constantly standing on it. So no, Joe. Common sense says have what you need right when you need it to protect yourself. That's why your Secret Service agents, they stand around you, close and near to you, everywhere you go with guns. They don't have the guns 3 miles away. They don't have the guns in another state. They have the guns right there next to you, so that if somebody tried something, they can immediately protect you. The same way a teacher should be able to immediately protect her kids if there's a school shooter. I'm not saying we just walk into schools and start tossing guns to all the kids. What I'm saying is we at least need to have the conversation, especially if it's about protecting lives. If it's about protecting lives, we should exhaust every possible thing we could to try to save those lives. And we have gun control, it ain't working. So maybe we should start entertaining the idea of having a process for teachers to be able to defend themselves while they're at school and defend their children if there is a school shooter. But you don't even want to have that conversation at all. We've done the gun control stuff. We've been doing the gun control stuff. So now maybe it's time to try something new instead of doing the same damn thing every single time expecting a different result, unless the result you want is to ban all the guns. And anybody who can do any level of deductive reasoning and logic can understand that the people who are pushing gun control, it has to logically end at banning guns. There is no other logical way it can have any effect except for to ban guns. Because if you really sit back and you think about it, right now you're talking about assault weapons using less than 1% of gun deaths, and they're not even assault weapons. They're semi-automatic rifles. And they're using less than 1% of shootings in this country. So if we have another shooting, then what? You're going to want to ban something else. And then you're going to be pushed to ban something else after that until there is nothing left. So start there and stop lying to us about this idea of common sense. You say common sense so you can slide the tip in. Next thing you know, we're pregnant with no guns. So no, Joe, not arming teachers is not common sense. Having the ability to protect yourself is common sense. Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.